You've been lied to your entire life about why you cannot lose weight. Not misled and not given outdated advice, flat out lied to. And the worst part, the lie came from the same doctors, the same textbooks, and the same health campaigns that were supposed to help you. They handed you one rule: eat less, move more, and when it did not work, they blamed you. They called it laziness. They called it a lack of discipline. They made you feel like the problem was your willpower, your habits, your character. They never once questioned the rule. They just kept questioning you. And that cycle of blame without answers has kept millions of people stuck, frustrated, and convinced that their bodies are working against them. But here's what they never told you. There's a hormone quietly running in the background of every single biological process in your body right now. It is deciding at this exact moment whether the fat sitting around your organs gets burned today or gets locked away for another year. It is not your thyroid. It is not your genetics. It is not your age. It is insulin. And if yours is chronically elevated, which for most people in the modern world it almost certainly is, it does not matter how little you eat. It does not matter how many miles you run. The fat is not going anywhere. The door is physically bolted shut. This video is not about another diet. It's about the lock itself, and more importantly, how to remove it. Picture this. You've been eating salads for 3 weeks straight. You gave up bread, swore off sugar, and started waking up before sunrise to exercise. You step on the scale, nothing. Maybe you even gained half a pound. That moment, that specific crushing moment, is not a motivation problem. It's not a discipline problem. It's a biology problem, and until you understand the biology, you will keep repeating that cycle on a loop forever. The body is not broken, it's the instructions it's been given, and today we're going to rewrite them. The conventional model of weight loss has one fatal flaw. It treats the human body like a simple machine: calories in, calories out, end of story. But your body is not a calculator, it's a chemistry lab. The most powerful chemical reaction happening inside you right now has almost nothing to do with how much you ate for lunch. It has everything to do with a single hormone that most people never think about. That hormone is insulin. And if yours is chronically elevated, you could eat nothing but air and still wouldn't burn the fat sitting around your organs. Today, we're going to change that. Not with another meal plan, not with another supplement to buy. We're going to work through the actual biological mechanics, the levers, the switches, the molecular processes that determine whether your body is storing fat or burning it. By the end of this video, you will understand your own metabolism better than most doctors ever explain it, and you'll have 4 concrete protocols you can start applying today. The most important concept to understand first is this: your body runs on a fuel hierarchy. There's a priority order, and your body follows it without exception. At the top of that hierarchy is glycogen, a fast-access form of sugar stored in your liver and your muscles. Below glycogen, much further down the list, is body fat. Here's the rule that changes everything. Your body will rarely tap into fat stores as long as glycogen is available. And as long as glycogen is full, insulin stays elevated. The fat is physically locked inside your fat cells. The doors are bolted shut. Insulin is the lock, and until you remove it, nothing gets out. Here is where the modern diet creates a slow metabolic disaster. Most people eat from the moment they wake up until the moment they sleep. Breakfast, a snack, lunch, another snack, dinner, and something before bed. The liver never fully empties. Insulin never drops to its functional baseline. The fat-burning switch never gets flipped. Day after day, month after month, the lock stays on, the tank stays full, and the body keeps hoarding. The first protocol is about physically draining that glycogen tank. The specific science here is what makes the strategy click in a way that generic advice never does. There is a molecule in your muscle cells called GLUT4. Normally, GLUT4 needs insulin to move to the surface of the cell and let glucose in. But during physical movement, muscle contractions send GLUT4 to the surface entirely on their own, without any insulin required. When you exercise, your muscles pull sugar directly out of your bloodstream without triggering additional insulin release. Blood glucose drops, the liver then releases its stored glycogen to compensate. You are draining the tank from the inside without raising the hormone at all. The protocol works like this. When you wake up, insulin is at its lowest point of the day. Your liver has been quietly burning through glycogen overnight just to keep your brain alive. The tank is partially empty. If you eat immediately, especially carbohydrates, you refill it instantly. Insulin spikes, and the fat-burning window closes before it ever opens. Instead, drink water with electrolytes and then move. 20 to 30 minutes of walking, light resistance training, or zone 2 cardio. You are clearing the remaining glycogen before giving the body any reason to refill. This one habit, done consistently before breakfast, changes the metabolic trajectory of your entire day. Phase 2 is about what happens once you do eat. The goal shifts entirely, no longer to drain, but to nourish without flooding the system. And this is where something sitting in most people's kitchen cabinets becomes a genuinely powerful metabolic tool: vinegar. Specifically, the acetic acid inside it. This is not folk medicine. Peer-reviewed clinical trials show that 1 to 2 tablespoons of vinegar consumed before a meal can improve insulin sensitivity by 20 to 30%. Acetic acid inhibits an enzyme called alpha amylase, the molecular scissors your digestive system uses to cut carbohydrates into simple sugar. When you slow those scissors, glucose enters your bloodstream as a slow, steady trickle instead of a sudden flood. Your pancreas responds calmly, rather than firing in full emergency mode. The second mechanism is equally powerful. Acetic acid increases glucose uptake directly into skeletal muscle. It reroutes incoming energy toward the engine, your muscles, and away from the storage facility, your fat cells. You are not just slowing digestion, you are redirecting where the energy goes entirely. The protocol is simple. 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in a large glass of water 5 to 10 minutes before your biggest meal. It's a preemptive strike against the insulin spike your meal would otherwise cause. Phase 4 is about constructing a physical barrier inside your digestive tract. Most people think of fiber as something you eat when digestion feels sluggish, but for insulin control, fiber is architecture. It physically changes how your gut processes and absorbs food. We are specifically talking about viscous, soluble fiber, psyllium husk, glucomannan, chia seeds, flax seeds. When these substances contact water, they transform into a thick gel. Consumed before or with carbohydrates, this gel coats the lining of your small intestine. Sugar molecules from your food get trapped in the matrix and cannot reach the intestinal wall at a normal speed. Absorption slows dramatically. Glucose enters the blood gently. Insulin barely notices the meal. Research confirms that high viscous fibers significantly reduce peak blood glucose after eating. Less glucose spike means less insulin spike. Less insulin means the fat-burning switch stays accessible. And when this fiber reaches your lower intestine, gut bacteria ferment it into short-chain fatty acids, butyrate and propionate, which trigger the release of satiety hormones, GLP-1 and PYY. These hormones signal fullness directly to your brain and help regulate future insulin output. Eating fiber activates a hormonal feedback loop that makes your entire metabolism more efficient over time. Phase 4 is about constructing a single most destructive habit in the modern diet: constant snacking. Every time you eat anything, you trigger insulin. Your pancreas doesn't care whether it was a handful of almonds or a piece of fruit. Food means insulin, every single time. Eating every 2 hours keeps insulin elevated for 14 hours a day. The fat remains locked away the entire time, without exception. There is a second reason snacking causes serious damage that almost nobody discusses. Your gut has a self-cleaning mechanism called the migrating motor complex, a sweeping wave of muscular contractions that clears undigested debris and bacterial overgrowth from your intestines. It only activates when insulin is low and needs at least 4 uninterrupted hours between meals to complete a single full cycle. Every snack shuts it down cold. You are not just blocking fat burning, you are preventing your gut from performing its most essential daily maintenance. The solution is not starvation, it is structured. 2 or 3 substantial, genuinely satisfying, nutrient-dense meals. Eat until you are full, then close the kitchen completely. Let insulin drop. Let glucagon, the mobilization hormone, the biological opposite of insulin, rise to do its job. When glucagon rises, the enzyme responsible for storing fat switches off, and the enzyme responsible for burning fat switches on simultaneously. That is the operating system change your body has been waiting for. Here's the bottom line. Trying to lose weight while insulin is chronically elevated is not just difficult, it is biologically unsustainable. You are fighting a hormone with willpower alone. Hormones always win. But when you apply these 4 protocols, fasted morning movement to drain the glycogen tank, vinegar before meals to blunt the spike, viscous fiber as a shield against absorption, and structured meal spacing to let insulin fall, you stop fighting your biology entirely. You start working with it. Your body already knows how to burn fat. It has always been known. It just needs the storage signal switched off long enough to finally remember. Lower the insulin, flip the switch, and watch the rest take care of itself.